Hey everyone, this is Larry with Today I Feel Like. The good folks over at Sigma sent me out their 24-70 F2.8. This is the version 2. It's a little bit smaller and a little bit lighter than the first version. I'm really excited to try this out because I have been using their Sigma 18-50 F2.8 on my Sony A7CR. Now this camera is a 60 megapixel camera, but when I put this APS-C lens on there, I only get 26 megapixels. This lens here is going to allow me to get the full resolution of this camera while not being too big or too heavy. So let's jump into it, take a look at it, try it out, and then I'm going to take it out into the real world and shoot some photos and videos. But first, let's take a look at it. All right, here we go. All right, first off, Sigma. And then we can see here, this is the 24-70 F2.8 DGDN2. It's going to have a filter size of 82, and this is an art lens, which means it is going to be their top-notch lens. Their art lenses is like, it's like the Sony GM lens. They are fantastic. So not much on that side, not much on that side, or on that side. So let's go ahead and open this box up here so we can actually get the lens out, see what we're gonna get. So there we have it. We're gonna get some instructions if we need it, but we're photographers up in this piece. We don't need instructions on how to shoot. We just need to go out and shoot. So, all right, we're gonna get the case with it here. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, it looks like we have a strap for the case, but you know what? I almost never use cases like that. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I just throw my lens on my camera and put it in a camera bag, and that's how I roll. So, all right, let's get this thing out, see what this is gonna look like. And there we go. We have some nice cushion on there. Let's see if we can get this, take the lens hood off there, see if we can get this cushion off from around the lens. There we go. Set that over there. And we'll keep the plastic for the lens hood for when we send this back because, well, this is not a lens I get to keep. I only get to borrow it and then I have to ship it back. But this is it right here. Look at that. Let me set this off to the side over there so it's not in the way. This is the lens. It has a little bit of weight to it. It definitely does, especially compared to my 18-50, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. But there's a lot of different buttons on here and dials. We can see here we're going to get our focusing ring up front. We're going to have our zoom ring right here. That's going to be the first ring in there. And then we're also going to have an aperture ring in there as well. Now it is clicked right now, but you can go right here to this little switch, click that, and now you have a declicked aperture ring, just like that. And if you don't want to have to worry about the aperture, you can just go ahead over, pop it into auto, and now it's going to work just like it would with any other lens where you can control it through your camera or let it go and be, just work with auto. So you also have a autofocus and manual focus, switch there. It looks like you have a custom button that you can use right here. You have a lock button that you can use so that the lens does not, so that you can't zoom it. So if you just are walking around, you don't want to have to worry about lens creep, you can go ahead and lock the lens out like that. So I guess if you zoom it right there, yeah, I think it only works if it's fully, let's see if it's fully zoomed out. No, it only works if it's fully zoomed all the way in, and then you can lock it right there. So it's really designed to prevent lens creep. So yeah. And it looks like there is another switch right there, which I'm not really sure. Let's see, well, I'm not sure what that switch is for. Let's see. That is the autofocus, and oh, you know what? That locks the aperture in. So you have one switch over here that's going to click and declick the aperture, and then you have this one here that's going to lock it in. So if you are, let's say you're shooting and you're doing some sports or something, you want to be at f8, instead of worrying about this thing accidentally moving, you can go ahead, set it at f8, and then lock it in. Oop, hold on, let me get that going. Let me get that right there. Click that. No, that's not it. That's definitely not lock. I thought that was locking it in. But yeah, that did not lock it in. Okay, I got that all kinds of wrong. So I have to figure out what that switch is for. I don't know what it's for. There is a switch for something. So, oh, you know what? Let's see. If I click that, it keeps it in auto. That's what it does. So it keeps it in auto so it doesn't come out of auto. So once you have it off, then you can move out of auto and you can go into auto and out of auto. But once you go into auto, if you click that, it locks it into auto so it doesn't move around. So, all right, there we go. Now this thing is going to have a massive 82 millimeter, filter ring there. It doesn't even look that big though. It says 82, but this thing looks smaller than like my 77s actually. It looks like it should be like a 72 or something, but yeah. So, but it's definitely an 82 millimeter filter ring. So if you have filters like, I don't know, maybe you have some NDs or a variable ND or something, you're gonna wanna make sure you have a filter that is large enough to go ahead and fit on here. So there is the rear element. It is weather sealed. There is some gaskets on there, so this thing is weather sealed. So if you're out and about shooting and it starts to rain a little bit or there's a little moisture in the air, you should be okay. You're not gonna have to worry about getting your lens or your camera damaged. So, all right, I have my A7 CR right here. And again, this is my little 18 to 50. You can see it is considerably smaller when you look at it there. But let's get this thing off. And yeah, like if you just look at that, you can see just how much smaller my 18 to 50 is. And this is going to be about the equivalent of about, I think it's about 27 and a half, about 27.5, I think, to about, what is it, 70 times 1.5 is what, about 80, about 85 or something like that. I don't know. I'm not good at math like that. You guys can figure it out. But let's go ahead. Now, I know people hate it when people leave lenses off their cameras, but I actually have the shutter drop down on mine. So you see the sensor's not exposed, because I'm one of those people, whenever I see creators take their lenses off and their sensors are all exposed, it just makes me cringe. So, all right, here we have it. This is it right there. This is the 24-70 F2.8. This is the version 2. And yeah, I can say right now, it doesn't feel too bad. It's definitely heavier than this little guy right here. This little sucker is nice and petite, but I'm not going to be able to get the full, I can't get my full, 60 megapixels when I'm shooting with this little guy here. I'm going to be able to get that when I'm shooting with a full frame lens. So, all right, all there is left to do is go shoot some pictures. So let me go out into the world, take some photos, some videos, and then I'll come back and let you know what I think about it. So I'm back from using this lens, and I've had it now for a few weeks, and I will say that I just kind of love it. It's awesome. Now, this lens is on loan from Sigma, and I'm seriously considering buying it because it is absolutely wonderful. Now, I'm used to using my A7CR with my Sigma 18 to 50 F2.8, but that is an APS-C lens. It is considerably smaller. I mean, much smaller than this lens. However, this lens is full frame and it allows me to use this camera at its fullest capabilities, meaning I can shoot at the full 60 megapixels that this camera offers, whereas when I put on the 18 to 50 APS-C lens, I only can shoot at 26 megapixels. Now, I took this out to my family's cattle ranch. It's very dusty out there. I love that this lens is dust and splash resistant, so I don't have to worry about if it gets dusty or if it starts to rain or snow. I'm able to go ahead and use this lens out there without any worries. Now, I did shoot some photos out there. I also shot some video. I was very impressed on how this lens performs with the video. It's quiet, it tracks really well, so you don't get a bunch of pulsing or hunting for focus. It just locks in and it tracks really well and works well with the Sony autofocusing system. Now, I also took this out to a protest in Washington, D.C., near where I live, and the photos that come off of this lens with this camera combination are just absolutely stunning. I mean, this might be the perfect combination of lens and body because it is so small, and in comparison to other 24-70s, this one is also quite small. Now, again, it's not as small as shooting with my 18-50, but I get a little bit wider of a focal length with this lens when I'm shooting, you know, this full frame, because the 18 is like a 27.5 or something. So it's not quite as wide, but with the size difference, you know, it's just a decision you have to make. But I really, at times, like to have my full resolution this camera offers, and so I am really digging this. I think it is fantastic. There's so many features on here. You get multiple buttons on here. You get switches for autofocus and manual focus. You get lock buttons on here. You can change the aperture manually on the lens, or you can go ahead and do it in the body. There's just a lot of features. You can click and declick with the switches that are on here. It's just a lot this lens has to offer, and you can get this for just about $1,000, just a hair over. It's really, really wonderful. So anyhow, that's really basically about it. I would have to say, if you're looking for a good lens, this could be a lens that you buy and really almost never have to take off your camera, because you can vlog with it. Now, that was another thing I wanted to mention. This lens does not have image stabilization built into it. For some people that may be a problem, but I've found with the image stabilization built into this camera, particularly this A7CR, it works really well, especially if you're standing still. So when I was just filming myself and I was just standing still, it worked really well. As I started to walk, there were some little micro jitters, a few shakes here and there, but overall, I think it did a really good job when I was walking in, say, a simulated vlogging situation. And because this lens is not as heavy as some other lenses in its class, I think you'll find that you're able to handhold this much longer than you would with other lenses. So there you have it. Anyways, I'm gonna leave links to this down below in the video description so that you can check it out. I'm also gonna leave links to my Amazon page and my social media contacts so you can reach me elsewhere. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and please subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram. And I am Larry with Today I Feel Like. Thanks for coming back to see me. Come back and see me soon. And until next time, love, peace, and hair grease. Peace.